Hey, so I know I said I was going to bed. You can tell by my tone I'm now laughing because this shit gets even more ridiculous. And it's literally been a few minutes. I made I made the other video, and by the time that came out, there was more stupid shit public. So yeah, okay. So anyways, there was an add-on to that tweet about my little vent video, and it's this monstrosity. So let me go. I there is so much wrong in this one tweet. I'm I'm surprised. I'm literally shocked. I don't know how this got this badly misinterpreted. So let's go over this, shall we? Might I also add on to this? Pandy351 is trying to use a pedophilia case against a minor and says she's a bad person when said minor has warned her against Star, who's also an offender. Sounds fucking insane to me. This tweet's fucking insane. I won't be saying the minor's name, but this is outright damn near criminal. Sure, this thread can be seen as slanderous. By the way, that is an actual crime, committing slander. So, okay. However, the accuser sucks. That's not how the law works. No, wait a second here. I'm, I should be taking this more seriously, but I can't. I can't. This is so ridiculous, and I'll get to it in a moment. I will not be taking this statement back. Pandy, if you're reading this, drop everything you've done to this kid. Leave her 100% alone. All of these people stalking her ought to be ashamed of themselves since you're being used as ragdolls and scapegoats. Jeez, ragdolls. Good God. Anyways. I don't know, man. Apparently Microwave doesn't know what the fuck Morgan's talking about with them stalking. And yeah, I'm gonna say their name, because fuck it. So basically, a while back, there was a situation where Morgan got removed from the cast. I have the screenshot, so that I will be showing that. I was gonna show that tomorrow, but hey, we're gonna do that tonight now. that's what my night has become. So anyways, basically, Morgan was removed from the cast for something entirely separate from Star. Star had nothing to do with why Morgan was removed. I don't know what this is talking. One, I'm the one who warned Morgan about Star. I warned Morgan because I found out about what was happening with Star first. I was not warned about it by Morgan. I don't know where that's coming from. It's just wrong. That's just an outright lie. I can get the victim who came to me to even testify to that. So I don't know what the hell Morgan is on. If anything, Morgan had a tendency to go talk to Star after Star got called out for the pedophilia. So, yeah, I'm not sure what this is about at all. What sounds insane to me is this entire tweet. None of this had anything. Star is not even, like, that's not what Morgan did wrong. Morgan said she understood what she did wrong, but apparently not. I don't even know if Morgan's a she anymore. I don't even think that's Morgan's pronouns. Last time I checked, they were like they and he. So, you know, I don't know. I'm using she because Bella here is using she. I want to make that perfectly clear. I don't mean to misgender Morgan. I don't know Morgan's pronouns right now. So I apologize, Morgan, if I am misgendering you. Out of everything you've done to me, I will actually legitimately apologize for that because that is not my intention with this. But, yeah, with that being said, for obvious reasons, slander is a fucking crime. It is fucking illegal. So, I'm glad you're outright admitting to that. Cause I can press charges. So, you know. I mean, I'm not gonna, you're stupid. And, like, I shouldn't be name calling, but honestly, you are. Wow. I have no idea what Morgan has been feeding you, bud, but just you wait, my friend, because I will show you. I will show you the shit that I have been going through for several months now. Don't you worry about it. Anyways, and then there's this, bringing up Flickr, Microwave, Emerald. By the way, leave M the fuck alone. I don't know what the fuck M did to any of you guys at any point in time, but M is constantly being brought up in this drama shit. M has done nothing. Leave M alone. M has tried to be people's friend and it has gotten in trouble with me for trying to be people's friend. Oh my god. I can't believe this. And then there's Liam. Liam is the minor, by the way, who was the victim to Star. The one who told me that Star was a pedophile. You know, the one that they're claiming was Morgan. That was really fucking interesting. As for microwave stalking, I don't know anything about that, but I'm talking with Microwave, and Microwave's confused. So, and I don't know what the fuck the Aria situation. I don't know what that's about because Flicker didn't stay with Aria, so I don't know. The only thing I can think of is that Morgan caught kicked for stealing skins because, ironically enough, people weren't as fucking dumb as the people who are defending you for stealing skins. So, anyways, why did Morgan get kicked in the first place? Well, my friends, I believe. Let's see if I can find those screenshots real quick. There they are. All right. Okay. Boop. Anyways, this is why Morgan was removed. So, to explain things, there was a server that we both shared that happened to have somebody in it who raped me. And to be quite honest, I wasn't really comfortable being in the server, but Morgan would constantly push and push and push for me to play with them on the server. It hit a point where there were times I was on the server with him that I got really uncomfortable. And whenever I mentioned it, Morgan would talk about protecting me from him, which obviously at the time, Morgan was like 13. I was like 19. And Anubis was 6 years older than me. Morgan was not protecting me from anyone. That was not going to happen. I did not feel safe. I made that very clear. Morgan didn't care. Morgan just wanted to play their little video games. So, anyways, this was the conversation that occurred. There's two conversations, but this is the first one. This was after one night, basically, I got upset because Morgan started shitting, talking behind my back to people, including Kat, who then, gave me screenshots because she agreed it was shit talking. Gave me screenshots. I said something to Morgan. Morgan kind of ignored it, so I made a tweet being like, hey, I'm upset. And then Morgan suddenly was in my DMs being like, whoa, hey, we can talk about this. So, and Morgan made Silent cry. It was because the way Morgan kicked Silent was rude, to say the least. But Silent was really good friends with Morgan at the time. So Silent really cared about the fact that Morgan had kicked them and got really upset. Which, as any of you Party Cubs will probably know, you don't make Silent cry. That's not something you do, and I tolerate. Silent is a fucking amazing human being. She is sensitive, she is kind, she is sweet, she has been nothing but an absolute positivity and joy in my existence, and she is my best friend. You do not make her cry. So anyways, hey, Pandy, might I talk to you? What's up? Uh, so I saw your tweet. Yes. I also came to give my explanation of why I kicked Silent, since I think you have the wrong reason. I kicked Silent for inactivity in the cast. She was hardly active and hardly ever told me why. I believe one of the only times Silent showed up was the crossover for Liam. One, Silent is pretty good at talking whenever Silent can't make it. I could go through screenshots upon screenshots upon screenshots of Silent telling me, hey, I can't make it because of this. There are other people in the cast who can confirm this. There are other casts she has been in that can confirm this. So, no, that definitely wasn't the issue. The issue was that I told Morgan off, right before suddenly Morgan wanted to remove Silent. Really strange how that worked. Morgan, CC, or Potato, and Silent talked to me, and I was told a lot of things. One, I told you to reword the example and not to use it word for word, because Morgan asked for me to give a thing to remove Silent, and I specifically said reword it, and then they didn't. And that really upset me, because it needed to be in their words. Two, you compared me to Shada. That's a whole separate thing, an issue. I don't even 100% remember what that was about. I just remember that was during the time that I was having a lot of issues with Shada. That's a whole other story. And three, you upset me when I told you to leave me alone. just to have you talk shit to Kat behind my back. I never talked shit to Kat. I can show you my conversation with Kat last night. I talked to Kat about other things. I wasn't talking about last night. I'll get you the screenshot. Here's your screenshot. So this was, again, I was uncomfortable with really talking to them because I was upset. I told them to leave me alone, and so this is what happened. Pandy kind of made me cry without meaning to. I don't know how to deal with it. I was hanging out last night. I joined and Pandy left for a bit. That was a complete coincidence. I didn't know, so I didn't know, so I can't blame her for that. Penny came back and decides to be mute because of how upset she is. Yeah, because I was dealing with shit with my father. Because this was back in 2021, so I was still actively dealing with my father at the house. I left a little bit later. When I came back to the VC, Pandy was unmuted. I felt like I did something wrong. So the funny thing is, this entire incident was just entirely coincidental. This had nothing to do with Morgan, but this was also after the shit I was dealing with Morgan, so it just didn't really help everything. I didn't know what to do. I know I couldn't tell Pandy because I felt like I was going to say something wrong. Yeah, and you did, so it's fine. I never meant to. That was the day you decided to throw me into a panic attack. Yep, because of Anubis. Morgan, I told you no to the realm. You didn't care how it made me feel. You kept pushing. That's who I am, Pandy. I was feeling bad and I was scared. I wanted you and Kat to be with me, so I wasn't scared to be around the person who raped me. So that's how I am with my own parents. If something scares me, I want them to be there with me. You guys are like my parents. Morgan, he raped me. This isn't about you. You made me feel like shit because you didn't want because you didn't care what harm he did to me. All you could think about was yourself, which is true. All I could think about was having fun and brushing that aside. I wanted to make things seem okay again, but I knew they weren't. I felt bad you were hurt, but I also wanted you to feel better. I thought, oh, maybe if I help Pandy have some fun, that will make Pandy feel better. How would being in a stressful place make me feel better? I told you you were upsetting me, and you kept pushing it, Morgan. I didn't know. I just wanted to make people happy. I knew Anubis wasn't making you happy, which is why I thought if Kat was there, it would be better, which is true, but not on the server. He doesn't like you around either, which is why he never talked. So even if he was on there, he wouldn't do anything to you. He already did something, Morgan. He's still there. Go talk to Kat. I'm done. Yeah, I had enough that night. So several conversations happened where basically I tried to ignore the fact that Morgan had been a piece of shit to me about my rape. And I had hit a point where I was like, okay, you know what? I'm removing Morgan from Pi. That's the moment Morgan got removed from Pi. That's when Surprise Puppet was no longer a character. Because I was hurting. And what Morgan did hurt a lot. However, and all of Morgan's wisdom of, hey, this person got raped and they're really upset with me. Let me have a conversation with them. This conversation unfolded after. Um, hey, Pandy, can I confront to you about something that's been bothering me? What's up? I can't help but think about how you kicked me. I understand that it was my punishment, but I also found it semi-rude. I understand that I was pushy and such, but being told I was kicked because I wanted to play with you and just have fun kind of bothers me a little and has been. Morgan. I don't care that much at this point, as the only time we will be on the server is if you were with Slender or Ying. You were kicked because you disrespected me and my boundaries. I understand that, and I just said you did not care about my safety. I was not being rude. I told you no. You didn't listen. I understand you're a child, but being raped really fucks with you. Being in a place where there's even the slightest chance my rapist is there is one of the scariest things ever. That's why I said no, but you pushed. I trusted you, Morgan, to care about me, and all you cared about was wanting to play. If anyone was rude, it was you for questioning my boundaries for safety. You say you understand, but you really don't. Unless you've been raped, you won't ever truly understand. But instead of accepting that, you tried to put me in harm's way. I know I will never understand that pain, and I fully admit to that. But I understand I was in the wrong, and yet you have the audacity to call me rude. I found the reason rude, not you. We're done with this conversation. Uh, good. You can talk to Kat when she wakes up. You've hurt me enough for tonight. So yeah. So that's why Morgan was removed. Not because not because Morgan was not because of Star. I have no idea where Star is coming into any of this. Oh, I need to go remove. I need to go remove a person. I this is all a lot. Um Again, I'll give the rest of the screenshots because obviously I've got the other stuff that I made claims of, and I'm good on my word. I'll do it in the morning. But obviously I had to take care of this now since there was something posted a few minutes ago. I swear to God, I will go look at Twitter real quick to go make sure there is nothing else while I am talking because oh boy, who wants to bet there is? Who wants to bet there is? Because they can't keep their stupid mouth shut. If you aren't sure about a situation, bud, if you're only hearing from one side, maybe take a second to think that you might be getting lied to. Because I genuinely have no idea where the hell Star is coming from outside of the fact that Morgan got in contact with Star several times after Star got called out for being a pedophile. And I was like, hey, I don't feel comfortable with people talking with a pedophile. So if you talk with her, I'm kicking you. And I still forgave her every single time she did. I still forgave Morgan every single time it happened. And yet, here we fucking are. This is not an issue of like Morgan like Morgan's talking with Star, therefore I'm using this pedophile against her. No. She is talking to my rapist though. That's pretty cool, I guess. Which is why I have an issue with Morgan, because Morgan is friends with people who have groomed children and who are like actively pieces of shit. But I have never really said anything other than just I don't like Morgan because Morgan was dismissive of what happened to me. But that's cool. Sure, attack me for that. Again, if you don't know the whole situation, don't say anything. I've literally made statements about this several times publicly. It would take you like 3 seconds to go like fact check yourself. I've gotten so fed up with this just straight up harassment. It's just not even funny. Dude, it's a vent video. Chill the fuck out. Not only chill the fuck out, leave me the fuck alone. I get this feeling though, this strange feeling that Goat's made friends with people who intentionally don't like me, and that's why Goat is being as aggressive to me as she is. But she says she hasn't. So maybe that's just me. I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna be showing, screenshot proof of the shit I had to go through with Goat that is now being held above my head like a fucking pinata. While she's actively saying she's not holding shit above my head, which is in tangent still holding stuff above my head. It's great. It's complicated. Then again, everything seems to be complicated with me. Thank you guys. Sorry for the double video. I know this one's like an extra 20 minutes longer. Um yeah. I'm done. I'm sick and tired of this bullshit. So sick and tired. Oh, did I also mention the fact that Morgan was dismissive of Moon's rape? That was a thing. I'm not gonna get into the screenshots of that because that's a personal like thing between Moon and Morgan, honestly. But I've seen the screenshots of that. Me and Kat basically told Morgan to apologize, and apparently she never did. So kind of a shit thing for her to do. But that happened. And that's openly being dismissed by Goat. That's pretty cool. I don't know why Goat thinks that's acceptable, but hey, maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm the crazy one for thinking that rape should be maybe not dismissed, no matter what the argument's about. But yeah, no. Morgan got in trouble because Morgan would actively attack people in the Star situation, I guess. That's about the closest thing about Star that I can think about. That Morgan did get in trouble for like actively attacking people when I was like, "Hey, that's really not okay. I don't care whether you don't like them or not. This is not acceptable." But mostly the reason they got kicked is because they flat out told me they preferred playing video games and were willing to put me in harm's way and that they didn't care. No matter how many times I told them no, I was uncomfortable with it. Um, but obviously that's been forgotten. The time. There's the stealing of skins, which, let me see if I have the screenshots for those. I don't know if this is all the screenshots. Oh, there's also the situation with Arya that happened. Ooh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. I'm remembering things now. Give me a second. I will grab screenshots. Where is my DM? With my friend who I was telling things about. Talking to a friend about this earlier, actually. Yeah, no. I'll talk about Goat tomorrow. Because obviously there's a lot of Goat threatening my friends. There's a lot of Goat encouraging me to harm myself, not directly, but by intentionally using trigger words, which is not fun. But obviously that's for tomorrow. I don't want to deal with that tonight. But anyways, here you go. Here's the skin. Notice how it looks a lot like Delilah. They said it's not, and their reasoning is that they don't have access to the skins. But as many of you would probably remember, Morgan was a body actor, so Morgan did openly have access to skins. Um, they can't they can say they don't have access to, but they did, and there isn't really a way for them to like prove that they don't have the skins. Like this is pretty cut and dry proof that they had them. Like this is just Delilah. Then there's not this this skin. This looks a whole lot like Pandy351 mouth wise, don't you think? The old one specifically, not the newest one, but the old one, the one that I do. Like even the muzzle, the eye placement, the arm placement, the endo placement for the arms and legs, all of that. Quite familiar. Anyways, the other shit that happened was, now granted, Arya's a pedophile. I don't really like Arya, but at the time, I was trying to stay neutral because there was a bunch of shit with Star happening. I didn't realize Arya was being fucking creepy with kids until much later, so just want to make that very clear. But basically, uh, a bunch of people like dipped out suddenly out of nowhere, and I was like, "There's been nothing happening." And this was the screenshot I was given. Now, I want to be clear, this conversation happened 3 months after this original conversation. The conversation I had with Morgan was 3 months later, and it's basically just Arya being like, "Hey, you said you don't trust us." And that is true. I do not trust them. I was very like open about the fact that I don't trust them. But this screenshot is out of context. Like, I was saying I don't trust them because at the time, Morgan kept pushing really fucking hard for me to get involved in Kirito and Arya's relationship. And at the time of this screenshot, I didn't like either of them because they were both with Star. So when Morgan's like, hey, do something to help them, I was like, what do you want me to do? I don't really care. And then Morgan was like, oh, if Kat got super upset and was questioning things, how would you feel? And I'm like, that's kind of a different situation. And me and Kat are both adults. And so was Kirito and Arya. Like, yeah, I'd feel like shit, but it really wouldn't be anyone else's fucking business. And I wouldn't have wanted some children to interject because it's most likely going to make things worse. And that's ignoring the fact that, like, again, at the time, I had quite a bit of animosity with them because Star. And Morgan still kept pushing for me to add Kirito back to the cast, so I was just very annoyed with Morgan at the time. This is all just on top of Morgan then pushing me to be around my rapist. This is why Morgan was removed. It was not because they warned me about Star. It was not because they were a spy for Star or whatever the fuck the theory is that's cooking in Bella's head. It was solely because Morgan was being a piece of shit about me being raped. And then they kept taking out of context screenshots and using it to cause drama. And then they started stealing my skins. That's why Morgan got removed. And I understand that Morgan was like very young. Morgan was like 13, 14 when some of this shit happened, or like 12, 13. I understand Morgan was very young when this happened. However, that does not excuse the actions, that does not excuse the continuous actions, and it's not going to be excused. I'm not going to take it anymore where I'm being painted as the bad guy after my rape was dismissed, after my work had been stolen, and after drama was created for no fucking reason. You can see at the time I even had to unblock Morgan to get the context of the screenshots. I am so fed up with this. In the morning, I'm going to have screenshots of the rest of the shit I claimed earlier. Hopefully, there will be maybe an understanding by the morning, and I'll be able to update you guys and give you guys some good news before I have to get into the shit show that has been the past 2 years. And yes, I'm a little angry right now, and I'm like a little pissed because I have been in an internal hell for several months because of all of this. And this whole thing about stalking Morgan. Please, I keep tabs on people who are fucking terrible, and Morgan happens to be friends with a lot of those people. It's not really all that intentional keeping tabs on Morgan. Anyways, I wish to go to bed without more fucking drama. Do I think I will get that? No, but I'm not saying anything about anything more until the morning. And anyone who decides to start stirring up shit while I'm asleep, well, you're just a fucking piece of shit anyway. Maybe take a second, think about what's being said. Think about your fucking actions.